I'm about to show you a few of the best decks for using in Forsaken Valley. Regardless whether you're free to play or you're spending money in the game, you're gonna find this video helpful, and I'll be explaining how to use these decks in each of the maps specifically, so you can have a better approach to actually using this deck and dominating your way throughout this entire arena. So further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so I would like to start off with mentioning a few things which would definitely help you out in understanding this entire arena. This arena is definitely one of the hardest arenas possible, and if you have anything below level 8, you are destined to suffer. If you have level 8 cards or level 9 cards, you're gonna have an average experience. Average in terms of few things are gonna be hard and few things are just gonna be too much hard. But the hard can be turned into medium if you are watching this guide till the end, because I'm gonna be explaining you how to do so. And let's start off with this deck. Okay, so first of all, this is the deck which I like to use the most in this arena, where we have Arcane, or you can use Archmage, then we have Barbarians, then we have Druid, and we have Royal Archers. Now the second deck is going to be the same deck, the 3 cards are same, but you may switch Archers to the Tesla. Now, as for spells, we're going to be using Polymorph, Stun, and Thunder. Now, you may prefer to use something else too. You can also use Ultimate Strike if you have it a little bit on higher level, or if it fits to your playing style, you may find it well enough too. But it's quite hard to use, so I usually don't recommend it because it requires a little bit of trickiness, you know. And you might check out the Ultimate Strike guide where I explain how to use it and so much more, but for now, this is the decks which I'm going to be explaining in this video. Okay, so one of the most important things you need to understand is the enemies are going to be very much powerful in this arena. So in order to deal with them in the best way possible, what you can do is have any of these 4 heroes. Any of them actually are fine. Wayland, Magnus Belbane, Allura are the 3 free-to-play options you've got over here. And then if we go a little bit into the powerful leagues, it's going to be Ice Cult and Barrisad. Barrisad being the best choice in this arena because he's pretty much strong, but if you don't have him on a higher level, he's worthless. So any hero on level 8 or somewhat around that is going to be fine. I would prefer 8 or more. Anything below that is gonna be kind of bad for you to have a good experience in this arena, but if you have that, that's pretty much fine. Now, as for the first wave in any of the maps, what you should do is look at what is spawning in. If it's going to be something like the magma shards, now you will have a chance to stun them and get as many enemies as possible getting clumped up at one place, and then polymorphing and thundering it to get rid of them in just few first seconds of the entire wave, which gets you out of a lot of pressure movement. And now you can actually focus on the other lanes too, which will be really great. And now you need to think, what does your deck really need? What does the entire match really need? Rather, regardless of the opponent spawning in a dragon or anything else, the best option in first wave would be building Barbarians. Don't even ask me any questions. Building Barbarians at 2 endpoints is exactly what you need to do. But it truly depends if it's necessary or not. If you have already taken out the enemies, you may focus on something else, like building a magic tower, you know? And in early waves, to clump up the enemies, you may also prefer to use Glacial Druid in locations like these in all of the maps. As for Barbarians, you can also take a look on the screen. It is exactly how I like to place Barbarians. Those are the best locations in my eyes in each of the map. That pretty much helps a lot. Now, here's the thing. There are a few maps where in first wave only you will see yourself facing flyers, and that is quite really much annoying, no doubt. So in these times, you may prefer to use Royal Archers in the lanes where you see crows spawning in. And as for Rocket Riders, the best way to deal with them is probably thunder them, but if you don't want to do so, you can actually get yourself the Ultimate Strike in order to deal with them, because it actually affects them and at least gets them on the ground, which gives you more time to prepare for the next Rocket Rider. Always remember, you may want to adapt to the situation too. Just me saying this does not mean that's exactly how your game will look like, because there are boosters and many other factors. You may have a little bit of bad timing, and that may just switch up a lot of things, and where you need to adapt by your own skills. As it's a multiplayer game, this will be always there. If it was Kingdom Rush 1 or something else, you may see yourself just restarting and doing the entire strategy again with more perfection. But here, if you lose, you lose, and you lose matters, and that's exactly how the game goes. So understanding this quite helps out a ton. Now, if you don't like to micro too much, Raylan is the best option you've got over here, because anything except Raylan in this arena is destined to just be microed all around the map regardless. That's Ice Cold, Beresad, Magnus, Allura, all of them are destined to be microed all around the map all the time. And I'm not even lying, that is exactly how it looks like. So getting Raylan to level 7 is going to be pretty much fine if you're using her in first 2 maps of the Forsaken Valley, but after you get through that place, Raylan will feel a little bit weaker in terms of other heroes, and she will die a lot much quickly. So in those situations, don't use Raylan, use something else, unless you have her on pretty high level that is really good, and you should use her. There are a few things which I would like to mention. When you face a high level bot, that is exactly when you should know that you kind of messed up, you're in a bad position. So you need to use boosters which are not good for the bots. I would consider, for an example, there's ambushers and a few other boosters which can get you more time to deal with enemies. For an example, the tower stun or the magma golem, anything which just messes up the bot and puts it into a pressuring situation where the bots usually get themselves not always, it's hard, I know, when you face an overpowered bot, but still it sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. So you can try your best in these situations, because there is not something you can do with. But as far as you are facing a real player, going with this aspect is mostly gonna help you out. Now, why Arcane and Archmage? You may use any of them, any which is on higher level or better in performance for your deck. Use them, basically you'll be using them against the Dark Knights, the Dark Rookies, or anything which is physical resistance. So against those enemies, you'll be preferring to use these things. But always remember that maxing out a magic tower is much needed instead of building many other towers. So rather focus on one specific tower and build it to max level, and always as you make it to wave 4, 5, 6, in these waves things are going to get really serious and enemies are going to be very much overwhelming. So you may find yourself in a situation where you might just have more stalling. Druid is definitely going to help you with, stun is definitely going to help you with this, but still it may not be enough. And in those situations, I always see myself utilizing barbarians with Archmage or Arcane's teleporting ability, which takes enemies a little bit back and gives a few seconds of more time to deal with enemies in a better, non-pressurized way. It always isn't the best thing to see, but these things can happen and you must be prepared for it. And in the boss wave, you can just hope that you can outlast your opponent. So if you get a chance to actually slow down the boss in any way possible, take the chance, because you can rather kill the boss, which is really hard. If you are able to do that, then you shouldn't have been watching this guide, because that's a good skill level already. But if you can't, then just stall out the boss, because your opponent is most likely to be losing because he cannot stall out the boss. So defense is the best offense here. So that was basically everything I could tell in this entire guide. I hope I managed to clear out my points. If there are any questions you have, please comment down below. I would really love to solve out and help you out in this arena, as I can understand the pain of being stuck in the same arena again and again. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. Consider subscribing, and until there, keep on rushing.